What's up, guys? It's Captain Production 72, and welcome to episode 8 of collecting the complete saga in LEGO. If you're not familiar with this series, this is a series where I'm collecting all of the playable characters from LEGO Star Wars, the complete saga in LEGO. This series features many real minifigures such as Indiana Jones and custom minifigures such as Han Solo in the Hoth outfit. So in this episode, we're going back to the customs. As you know, it's been going between on each episode. And this episode, we have two characters. So you may know of the rule I have, and it's like, well, the figures have to relate somehow, otherwise I will just split them into episodes. So it's like, if I had Force Ghost Anakin and episode 4 Han Solo, they're not going to appear in the same episode. I'm just not going to do it that way. But, you know, we've got two characters. It's both the same character. That made no sense. From different episodes. One's in episode 1 minifigure, one's in episode 2. Technically, we got one of these figures in LEGO-ish, but it's a cool grouping of minifigures here. So this will be one of the shorter episodes, or maybe it will be. It just depends when we go through them. But you will notice over the next couple of weeks, these episodes may get shorter here and there when discussing them. But with all that said, let's get into these two minifigures. Before we jump in, I'm going to flash it up here. Were made by Boskman Customs. That's Boskman Customs over on Instagram. He makes some great stuff. In fact, at the time of recording this in early December, I am slowly waiting for his next drop, which should have some pretty cool minifigures for this project. Let's get over to the table. Alright, so you join me over here at the table. So like I was saying, these are the same character, but in two different outfits. Now, one of these minifigures, I had a hard time finding someone making the custom, because everyone makes the version of her later on in the movie with a similar outfit, but not a lot of people are doing this one. But let's jump in and we'll go in order of movie. So the first one that we got is Padme in her... I'm trying to get that to focus. Wow, that's went bright. I'll fix the hair there. That is Padme in her battle outfit from Retake the Feed Palace level. And it's a pretty cool looking minifigure. LEGO themselves have not done this outfit for Padme. For episode 1, we always get her Tatooine outfit, you know, for when she's watching the pod races. And we've had the Queen outfit, I suppose, once. But this is the other one that LEGO have not done. And it's a cool minifigure, you know. There's a lot of debate with some of these minifigures, you know, what torso colour would be the correct one to use. And you know what, this kind of darker red-ish maroonish kind of colour, how I would describe it. Someone who understands colours is going to roast me in the comments, but this is, for me, the perfect medium for this. So it's all official LEGO, you know, the Bossman Customs prints on real LEGO. It's the hairpiece is the intricate part of this. So you look at the hairpiece, that is pretty cool. It's just painted. It's grey, but it's been painted. But nonetheless, it's a pretty cool minifigure. One thing I should say is a lot of custom manufacturers don't really provide weapons with their minifigures, so this is one of these examples. I have noticed I'm going to, at some point, probably the second to last episode of this series, probably in a good year and a half's time. That's just a guess. For all I know, I could complete this in 2026, I don't know. I will have to do an episode where I'm equipping everyone with more accurate weapons. Luckily for me, none of the figures used special pieces, I don't think. I think they'll just use kind of classic blasters and stuff. Anyway, pretty cool minifigure, but it's not my favourite out of the two. We do have another Padme, that's coming up. And this one, so LEGO made her outfit after she has fought with the Nexu. Again, I probably just gave it away. We have Padme, and this is her in the kind of... This is the Droid Factory level Padme. And it's a really nice looking minifigure indeed. Same head and hair as the other one. Does she have a back print? Yeah, which is kind of interesting that the custom manufacturer went to the effort on that, because then you don't see it. I'd like to point out, people have commented about my hands in these videos. It's winter here, and my hands seem to go like this, by the way. So, yeah, people have brought up with me in past episodes where my hands look the way they do. It's not, they're not filthy, it just seems to be a winter thing. Anyway, really cool looking minifigure. Again, you place her in the Droid Factory level. And both these were made by Bossman Customs. These are some really nice products here. Would highly recommend. And when it comes to custom manufacturers who work on a pre-order basis, he has some of the quickest, manufacturing shipping times. Because he's in Texas, in the States, and I'm here in the United Kingdom. I won't complain. One thing I always say is the hairpiece, by the way, very loose. It doesn't hold on too well. But again, look. I'm not going to be playing with these or moving them around too much, so for me it works out quite well. They look really good for what they are, And let's get these two added back onto the stand. Alright, so over here at the stand we have both Padme, so I'll add the episode 1 version first. So, like I said, I'd have to pick up blasters. I really want to try and find someone who's selling the version of Padme after our thing with the neck suit in the Geonosis Arena version, so that's definitely next on the list. But this Padme just goes over here like so. It sits next to Captain Panaka. That right there between Panaka and Jar Jar, that's where the Queen Padme would go. If I had one, insert that meme, that's one of those figures. I do want to ask people in the comments if anyone knows any custom manufacturers who may be doing Queen Padme with the whole sculpted head thing. I have mentioned this before and people have just told me, you're asking me if I'm aware of the figure from 2012. Yes, I'm aware, I also own the figure, but it's not in any way accurate to this. Anyway, let's get the Padme up there, the other version. She goes next to C-3PO up here. Again, so the scratch one goes along here somewhere according to Cassette. The thing this is based on. If anyone's wondering why they're laid out the way they are, who doesn't know, this is the character menu selection screen basically. Would be all the little head icons. But I want to thank everyone who joined me for this episode. It looks really good getting extra ones up there, especially in the prequel era, because a lot of the customs I've been finding lately that are going to be popping up in episodes are basically just all based on the original trilogy. More people make ones from the original trilogy, which I kind of get, because out of the 3 games, which there is posters for the 3, yes, I'm aware of that one came out first, but biggest to smallest posters. I played the original trilogy a lot more, so I've got more nostalgia for that. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.